Okay, now we're back to basics. As just a second. There we go. Oh, would you like to get me a cup of tea, love? Okay. Yeah, we are a bit. Right. Okay. Some say we're nutted in this house. You might be right. Yes. Right. Sorry. We're dealing with disabled. Specifically with the mentally disabled. Okay, now we've all come across, I suppose, somebody that is mentally challenged. Not through drugs, we're not talking about those who deliberately destroy themselves, and I think it is appropriate to do so. A good way of life. Okay? Because whatever we sow, we do reap, and we reap the whirlwind. So at the moment, those who have been starting out, taking their so-called illicit drugs, will one day have to pay for that. Not at the moment, they don't see that. Very rarely do persons see that what they do now comes back to haunt them later, when those things are wrong. When they're right, it's the building up of the character, which we should all pursue. Now, when we come to the severely disabled, mentally disabled, we cannot and should not class all the same. Now I won't go into the length of all this because it's huge, but would like to express the fact that with some persons it is evident, it's evidential, that they've got a brain damage, okay? And there's a difference between brain damage and brain injury, by the way. A brain injury can be cleared, okay? 99% cleared up. Brain damage cannot. It's when politicians, you see, turn around and say, oh, brain injury, brain injury, brain injury, and then they never will say brain damage. Have I noticed that? Because you see, it gives them a leeway. So that persons who have got brain damage are reclassified as brain injury, so that they can be examined. And in some cases where there's been corrupt officials within the likes of Atos that we used to have, okay, they could get them off the benefit that they're entitled to, and they are entitled to it, because I and you and everybody else in the UK pays their taxes in order to take care of these persons whom we could very well easily be. We could turn out as these persons are. It's a caring, so-called caring system. It's supposed to be within a caring society, but we're getting away from that. Because government's getting away from it, people are therefore coming up now even more than they were before, getting away from being a caring society. And so this whole mindset comes to this. When we address, or rather I go back one, when we come across a mentally disabled person, okay, not mentally challenged as secularism says, they're not mentally challenged, okay, brain damaged. Take away all your fancy words, let's get back down to basics. Brain damaged. There's nothing wrong with being called brain damaged. That's what it is. That's what it is specifically is. Okay, when we come across these persons with their carers, some have carers, what we should never, never do is to address the carer. Never. We should first and foremost address the person that has got brain damage to their brain. And we should be cheerful, not morose, not stern looking and all this, but cheerful. Hi there. Hey, how you doing today? All being? Hey, well, if you know their name, address them by their name, great, terrific. That's what we should do. Big in ignore the carers on them. Get stuck in to the disabled person, okay? Because they, if you notice, 99% of the time, because there are exceptions. There are those certain exceptions. But where you're dealing with the majority of brain damaged individuals, they're as happy as Larry. Absolutely as happy as Larry. Nice to meet you nice. And it's the same. And when we do it, we should be doing it out of humanity. Loving our neighbour as ourselves. Not putting on a pigging act like the secularisms. I've managed to learn empathy. Have you got no empathy, George? Nah, I got no empathy. Government says that I must learn empathy. Go to college, learn some empathy. Well, where's your picking humanity? Oh, well, it's stuck in front of the TV. Alright, and it's sold out to government. I've got no humanity. I need to learn empathy. I need to learn this. I need to learn that. Hang on a minute. You're telling me that you need to learn human nature because the government says you've got no human nature. So you must begin learning. Where's your human sorry nature? Whenever you're coming across, as we say, a disabled person, always address them. If we address the carer, as some old buggers do these days, and also down the time, okay, it reminds me of Phil de Baker, doesn't it? Pledges pickles. Is he alright? Has he been? Hey? Oh yes, he's been. That attitude. Talking away from the person, that's rude. That's discourteous. That's disparaging. That's saying that that person there that you're talking away from is of no value. They are of more value than you are. Greater value. And have a greater life than you do. And, well, of us. And what is more, because they live in a different world, and they have no cares, and they have no woes. Okay? We're talking about the vast majority. We're not talking about these minorities. You've always got the pigging minorities in society that stand up and are gross. Okay? Even within the mentally disabled, damaged persons arena. Okay, so you'll always get them. I mean, you've got them down the road there for anything in life, really. I mean, the alternative community, okay, as I like to call them, they've got their minority that speaks up for them, and the majority don't want anybody to speak up for them. They just want to get on with their lives. They just want to dress up and do the drag bit or anything else that they'd like to do, and that's them, but there's always got to be these little minorities that speak up for people, and they shouldn't. They have no authority. They've bugger all. Where do they get their authority from themselves. The so-called black community, which is a wrong term, have theirs. It just goes along, and it's just crazy. Anyhow, we address these persons, and what is more, when callous, inhumane, hypocrites, devils incarnate, turn up and say, their quality of life is less. They shouldn't be brought into the world. We'll use genetics to rid them of the world so that they don't come into the world. Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler! Heil Hitler! How you doing, Martin? Oh, a bit of a bowman. All right. I'll tell you something. These buggers that go around, these evil gits, they're the ones that need to be disposed of. Hang on.